Usually most injuries occur right before a storm or right after a storm.
Preparing for impact. The first named tropical storm of the season is about to blossom into a hurricane. Who's getting caught in Arthur's path?
Plus, sending a strong message, what these teens learned about the consequences of doing drugs and the violence it triggers.
West Virginia's source for news. Eyewitness News starts right now.
Hi there and good evening. I'm Elizabeth Noreika.
And I'm Stefano DiPietro-Antonio. Welcome to Eyewitness News at 5. Bracing for the first big storm of this hurricane season. That leads our top 5 at 5. Tropical storm Arthur barreling toward the eastern coastline and expected to ruin a lot of holiday plans, especially since Arthur is expected to become a hurricane over the next 24 hours.
Storm team meteorologist Brandon Stover is tracking Arthur's path right now. He's here in our studio to help explain who's going to be impacted. And Brandon, it has a lot of people here wondering, should we be worried?
Hey guys, yeah, that's right. The first named tropical system of the year, Arthur, has formed off the east coast of Florida and is tracking northward here. And although we don't have to worry about an impact from Arthur here in West Virginia, for our friends across the Carolinas, that's potentially a different story. In fact, tropical storm and hurricane advisories are in effect for parts of coastal North and South Carolina right now, though. Although it appears to be quiet down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, outside right now, this beautiful live view is from Bar Harbor Resort. This is in Myrtle Beach. Look at that. You can see the Atlantic Ocean to the right, which is fairly quiet now, but you have to be on the lookout for those dangerous rip currents if you dare to enter the water here. The 2nd Avenue Pier can also be seen in the distance. Again, plenty of sunshine and quiet weather there right now, but that's going to change over the next 24 hours as Arthur spins closer. Now take a look at this picture of Tropical Storm Arthur spinning over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream. Wow, space astronaut Reed Wiseman posted this on his Twitter page. It shows the large storm just east of Florida. Unfortunately, just in time for the 4th of July weekend, a hurricane watch has been issued for parts of North Carolina's coast today. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Raleigh, North Carolina with the latest.
Tropical Storm Arthur's outer bands hitting Florida's eastern beaches today, bringing rain and rough seas.
We can see the waves are pretty high today, so we're going to keep a close eye on them.
Floridians waiting out this first storm of the Atlantic hurricane season as it makes its slow northern turn up the east coast.
If it were something that looked really dire, you might want to batten down the hatches or go somewhere else, away from here, but not this. This is just going to be a breeze.
Forecasters say Arthur, shown in this image captured by the International Space Station, is gaining strength and will reach hurricane status by Thursday evening off the Carolina coastline.
Storms are coming! Oh, we're staying. We're not going anywhere. We're here.
But North Carolina's Governor Pat McCrory warns Hurricane Hardy residents not to take this storm lightly.
I want to again reiterate, don't put your stupid hat on. Usually most injuries occur right before a storm or right after a storm.
The governor declaring a state of emergency in 25 counties ahead of the storm, which forecasters say could make landfall or brush the shores of the Outer Banks as a Category 1 storm, just ahead of the busy July 4th weekend. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a pretty untimely appearance of the first named storm of the season, considering that Independence Day is on Friday. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from Joy Dalton, a resident of Scott Depot, who was down in Pawleys Island, South Carolina over the next few days. She'll let us know how her family is preparing for the storm and the general vibe down into Carolinas. For now, reporting live here in the studio, Brandon Stover for Eyewitness News.
Brandon, thank you. And Chief Meteorologist Jim Barrick is here now. And Jim, a lot of people are heading south to have some nice weather for the 4th of July holiday, but it looks like maybe they're leaving that nice weather behind.
Yes, well, that is the bad news, that they could have a 4th of July that might not be the greatest. But after that, things are going to be improving quite a bit down that direction as we take a look outside locally. And of course, everyone's concern is whether that's going to affect us at all, and not a bit. We're looking at right now 88 degrees, very nice day, mostly cloudy skies. We might see a pop-up afternoon, evening shower or storm. There is a chance of getting a little wave of low pressure moving through here about 8 o'clock to midnight. So we might have a few showers tonight, and those could actually last into the early morning hours for tomorrow. After that, we get a drying trend. Let's show you what's going to happen for the rest of this evening. 86 degrees will be the temperature at 6 o'clock. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. It should be dry. Then 8 o'clock will be at 82 degrees. Still pretty warm, a little on the muggy side, partly cloudy. And we could kick off a few showers, possibly a storm as we move into the 10 o'clock hour. Again, between 8 and midnight is probably the best chance for seeing any showers. Doesn't look like anything strong or severe. Just some scattered storms. Will be at 74 by 10 o'clock. And then those showers might last into the early morning hours for tomorrow. Then we have a really big change taking place for the rest of Thursday, and it'll take us into and through the holiday weekend. I'll be back to explain exactly what you have in store for that holiday forecast. That's in my complete forecast coming up in just another few minutes.
Next in the top 5 at 5, hundreds of teenagers getting a strong message today about dealing with drugs.
Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Rubin's here in our studio now. And Leslie, you talked with a mom who has a message she hopes will save lives.
Deanna McKinney's 19-year-old son, Ty Mel, was murdered sitting on his porch eating pizza last April. His mother now on a mission to shape kids at an early age in hopes they will stay on the path to success and not be deterred by drugs and violence.
Hopefully that I touched somebody's heart today.
And that's all Deanna McKinney is really trying to do, sharing her story about the loss of her son, 19-year-old Ty Mel McKinney, in hopes of getting one of these kids to listen.
They have other options in life. They don't have to worry about what their friends think or what their friends feel. So follow their own hearts, find themselves, reach their own goals within themselves, so that way they could be an asset to the community other than, tearing it up.
Inside this room at West Virginia State University, these kids are getting real-life lessons. It's part of State's Upward Bound program that has teamed up with the partnership of African American churches. Their goal, showing the teens that doing drugs is not the norm.
These kids are a primary example of young people that are not participating in that behavior and that they're doing quite well, despite where they come from or what their family background is.
It's crazy how people are losing their life every day over nothing.
16-year-old Jasmine Perry is just one of about 200 kids taking part in the Summit Against Drugs, using the knowledge she's gaining to spread the message to others.
It gives you goals, and it helps you in school, and you better yourself, and then you won't be out in the streets and you won't get your life taken from you.
McKinney knows too well the consequences of children headed down the wrong path, and while she still seeks closure, she knows her story is far from over.
Sometimes it takes one, and it took my son, and I'm on it, that God even chose me to walk this walk, because it's not easy, but it is worth it.
Parents were also part of a workshop today that focused on helping to increase their understanding of the drugs their kids may be encountering and offer them steps that they can take to keep their kids away from the drug scene. Reporting live in the studio, Leslie Rubin, Eyewitness News.
Leslie, thanks. Right now in the top 5 at 5, what had been a big problem in Huntington is making its way back to the River City.
Yeah, police say crack cocaine is being found during drug busts. Eyewitness News anchor Dave Benton is in Huntington with the details.
Hey guys, so far this year the Special Investigations Bureau found 1.5 pounds of crack cocaine, and police say this is a huge resurgence of the drug. In just 6 months, police here seized more crack cocaine than they did in all of last year. Since January, the Bureau confiscated 680 grams of the drug, compared to 428 in all of 2013. The crack trade hit its peak in early 2000s, and unfortunately, it's now making a comeback. Mayor Steve Williams says the violence that comes with this drug is a huge concern.
The brutal facts is that we have levels of addiction that are frightening. The brutal facts are that there are individuals who are preying on those who have those addictions. The brutal facts are these drug dealers are also business people, and they go where the market is. What we have to do is make it so difficult for them to do business here that they choose to go somewhere else.
Now, Mayor Williams says police are doing the best they can to combat the problem, but it will also take the community to help in the battle. Neighborhood watch groups always help put a dent in drug trade. Anybody who sees suspicious activity should contact police. In Huntington, Dave Benton, Eyewitness News.
Dave, thank you. And next tonight in the top 5 at 5, a Kanawha County woman's home is getting a makeover thanks to a group of kids who are on a mission to help.
Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Sykes has their story.
There's a lot of work going on outside of Betty Westfall's Campbell's Creek home.
Tickles me to death. They're very helpful. Good kids.
These good kids are in the Canal Valley as part of a Christian work camp. The kids from across the country raised money so they could come to our area and help others in need, like Betty.
Usually the people that qualify for a work camp are those who are elderly or possibly have some other physical deficits that they can't do work themselves. So we come out and provide that labor for them.
Here they are painting the outside and inside of Betty's home. They're also fixing her porch and roof and finishing up some drywall.
The kids get to meet other kids from around the country. They get to meet the people of this area and begin to get an understanding of the rest of the world.
But it also brings a sense of accomplishment and pride. Just ask John Bennett or Riley Maycock. He's here from Cincinnati. She's from Emporia, Kansas.
I thought it was really awesome. I've met the resident, who's really, really nice. And I mean, I love working on this. It's really fun.
I feel really helpful knowing that I've done something that she couldn't do and taking responsibility and doing this for her.
A faith-based work camp that's giving these kids not only an understanding of what their faith is, but actually living out their faith by serving other people. A mission that's not only about repairs to a home, but about bringing hope to the person that lives there. In Campbell's Creek, Caitlin Sykes, Eyewitness News.
Now, that group will still be here in our area until Saturday. They're also working in cities in New York and New Jersey right now.
Yeah, the group not only raised enough money to stay here, but also for the supplies they're using on the various projects. And next in the top 5 at 5, with tournament play getting underway tomorrow at the Greenbrier Classic, today was the final day for the Pro-Ams.
This afternoon session on the course was filled with familiar names, of course, but none bigger than the two stars from one of America's most popular TV reality shows. Jace Robertson and Justin Martin from the show Duck Dynasty teed it up with Greenbrier owner Jim Justice and two-time Masters champion Bubba Watson. Duck Commander's CEO Willie Robertson was supposed to participate, but Jace says he had an accident and could not make it.
Martin is the alternate because Willie tried to pour boiling water in a glass pitcher. He said as soon as the water hit the pitcher, I thought, I don't know if I should be doing this. And then it went boom. And it was actually pretty severe. I got in for my book tour last night. Hey, Bob, I'm trying to do something here. Bob, I'm trying to do something here. Yeah.
Jay says as Willie recovers from his burns, he has already promised Jim Justice that he will be here next year to participate in the 2015 Greenbrier Classic Pro-Am. We'll have much more from the Classic coming up later here in the sports at 6. People are making their way home from work right now, so let's take a look at how their ride is going on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Here's a live look right now at I-64 near the Cross Lanes exit. This is from the West Virginia 511.org website. Everything seems to be moving smoothly right now.
And other than some possible congestion in those usual spots, it should be a fairly easy ride home. So that's always good news, yeah. Well, singer Robin Thicke wanted to answer fans' questions on Twitter, but some he got weren't really that friendly. Hear the very personal questions and his surprising answers coming up next in the Social Stew.
And a car can overheat within minutes, and that could mean severe injury, even death for a child left inside. What you need to do to prevent this from happening a little later here on Eyewitness News, West Virginia's source for news.
And welcome back to Eyewitness News. You know what that music means? It's time for your first helping of today's Social Stew.
And have you ever just wanted a cookie so badly? A chocolate chip cookie, I would say. You would do anything. Those are my favorite. Well, a bear cub got its head stuck in an oversized cookie jar, rummaging through some trash in Ringwood, New Jersey, but then had to be rescued from a tree.
Man, the hits keep coming.
So how'd it get there? The 6-month-old bear cub had apparently found this cookie jar Friday night in that northern New Jersey town as the 28-pounder tried to eat what was left in the jar. He apparently got his head stuck in it, and then he got a little frightened.
Oh, the cub was frightened and he went up a tree where he got stuck again. He can't win. Environmental protection staffers tranquilized the bear and it was brought down for local firefighters to then cut off that cookie jar from his head. Thankfully, he's okay, though. Getting stuck up in that tree with the cookie jar on his head, it could have been a bad situation if his body would have fallen.
They almost tranquilized him.
Don't make fun of me. Well, there were no blurred lines to read between during Robin Thicke's Twitter Q&A session yesterday. People were pretty blunt met with the singer asking him about his marriage and his public attempt to win Paula Patton back.
Or his very public twerking with Miley Cyrus. For example, one person tweeted, "Do you think Tim Howard can save your marriage?" referring to the Team USA goalie. Thicke tweeted, "I'm a big boy, I can handle it." And during that session, the conversation was in partnership with VH1. They used the hashtag #AskThicke.
You gotta say that carefully.
Yes. President Obama tops the list of the world of the worst presidents since World War II. That's according to a new Quinnipiac University poll. The poll also shows a number of voters say the country might be better off with Mitt Romney as president.
Interesting. 33% of those surveyed say Obama is the worst, with 28% choosing George W. Bush, 13% picked Richard Nixon, and 8% named Jimmy Carter. Researchers didn't have an explanation for President Obama and Bush's high rankings. However, they say both have governed during a time of bitter partisanship. While it's been 50 years since the Civil Rights Act was signed into law, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed it into effect before an energetic crowd in Washington.
And this is all over Facebook and Twitter today. The act helped end rampant discrimination based on race. It's considered by some to be the most significant law produced by the civil rights movement. Also had a huge effect on women, too. I'm going to explore more of that from our local civil rights leaders and the struggle here in Charleston tonight at 10. And of course, if you have any cool pics or videos, we always want to hear from you.
You can find us on several platforms: Facebook, Twitter, email, or you can always go over to our See It, Shoot It, Send It section on our website. That's WCHSTV.com. I may just see some of those pictures pop up every day in the social stew at 5 o'clock.
Gorgeous outside right now, but there are some showers, especially at the Greenbrier Classic. Jim will show us where exactly coming up. Welcome back. We're talking about hot weather and children accidentally being left in hot cars, a serious issue. No matter how many stories we do on these dangers, we keep seeing incidents in the news, especially recently.
I know, it's horrible. With more on this, including prevention of these tragedies, is Holly Furfer in today's Health Minutes.
This public service announcement carries the message with the power to save lives. Simply put,
never leave your child alone in the car, even for a minute, whether they're in a car seat or not.
The temperature inside that car can rise 20 degrees in a mere 10 minutes, and that can be devastating to a child.
An infant doesn't tolerate heat as well as an adult, and so their cells can be injured.
Injuries can be serious, even deadly. In fact, the organization kidsandcars.org says that on average throughout the past 15 years, there have been 38 such fatalities annually in the U.S. alone. Experts agree these tragedies are preventable and offer these tips to all parents and caregivers.
A visual reminder might be to take that child's stuffed animal and have it in the front seat next to you. You may want to bring your purse or laptop computer and put it next to baby's car seat.
Whatever you do, never leave a child.
Not even to run into the store, to run back into the house. You never know what's going to happen.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
And now anchor Kelly Card is here. And Kelly, what's coming up this next half hour?
Well, as two little boys being called heroes in Putnam County, how their quick thinking may have saved a woman's life. Plus, World Cup dreams may be over for Team USA, but everyone's still talking about the incredible play of goalie Tim Howard. A look back at all his saves, now earning the title Secretary of Defense. That and more coming up when I join Steph next.
West Virginia's source for news. Eyewitness News starts right now.
Happening now on Eyewitness News, just say no.
They have other options in life. They don't have to worry about what their friends think.
The mother of a murdered teenager is on a mission, what she hopes to accomplish, and the lesson our youth is being taught at the special drug summit. Plus, still developing tonight, trying to save Tinkerbell. Why a judge ordered a dog be put down and what one family is doing to stop it from happening. And acts of kindness, how some teenagers are helping a woman in need free of charge. Keeping teens off drugs is our top story tonight. Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Noreika. This is Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. Hundreds of teenagers getting a strong message today about dealing with drugs. Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Rubin is here live in the studio now after talking with a mom who has a message she hopes will save lives. Leslie?
Liz, Deanna McKinney's 19-year-old son Tymel was murdered sitting on his porch eating pizza last April. His mother now on a mission to shape kids at an early age in hopes they will stay on the path to success
and not be deterred by drugs and violence. McKinney was the featured speaker today at the Teen Summit Against Drugs. About 200 teens participated in the event that's part of West Virginia State University's Upward Bound program and the Partnership for African American Churches. They are getting real-life lessons. The teens are being taught that drugs are not the norm and ways they can stay off and away from them. The theme was celebrating yourself, and it served as a reminder that they are valuable and deserve the opportunity to live their lives to the fullest potential.
They have other options in life. They don't have to worry about what their friends think or what their friends feel. So follow their own hearts, find themselves, reach their own goals within themselves, so that way they could be an asset to the community other than, tearing it up.
Now, parents were also part of a workshop today that focused on helping to increase their understanding of the drugs their kids may be encountering and offering them steps they can take to keep their kids away from the drug scene. Reporting live in the studio, Leslie Rubin, Eyewitness News.
Leslie, thank you. Next tonight, a problem that once plagued Huntington is making its way back to the River City. Police say crack cocaine is being found more and more during drug busts. So far this year, the Special Investigations Bureau found 1.5 pounds of crack cocaine, and police say there is a huge resurgence of the drug. In just 6 months, police here seized more crack cocaine than they did in all of last year. Since January, the Bureau confiscated 680 grams of the drug compared to 428 in all of 2013. The crack trade hit its peak in the early 2000s, and unfortunately, it's now making a comeback. Mayor Steve Williams says the violence that comes with this drug is a huge concern.
The brutal facts are these drug dealers are also business people, and they go where the market is. What we have to do is make it so difficult for them to do business here that they choose to go somewhere else.
Mayor Williams says police are doing the best they can, but it will also take the community to help in the battle. Neighborhood watch groups always help put a dent in drug trade. Anybody who sees any suspicious activity should call police. It is a race against time for an animal advocacy group in Wayne County who want to stop a pit bull from being euthanized after humane officers say the dog bit a small child. Tonight, Eyewitness News reporter Daryl Wilcox looks into the issue.
And if I thought in any way that this dog was vicious, I wouldn't want her in the community.
Capri Billings is on a mission to rescue Tinkerbell again.
Our ultimate goal is to save her life.
Billings runs rescue group River City's Bully Buddies, and Tinkerbell spent 16 months with her family until she found her forever home in Wayne County. In both homes, Billings said the dog was around children with no incidents of biting or aggression.
It was an unfortunate accident.
But this spring, humane officers took Tinkerbell after the dog bit an 8-year-old neighbor. The boy had to get 14 stitches in his lips.
We're throwing the ball around. I guess Tinkerbell got excited because she loves toys, and her and the little boy went for the ball at the same time.
Tinkerbell's owners were found not guilty on misdemeanor charges of knowingly harboring a vicious animal, but a Wayne County judge still ordered the dog to be put down this week.
Well, I think it was a situational bite. I don't think the animal's vicious. I've seen vicious animals, and it has a different demeanor, but yet still, how does a family get peace having an animal in the community that bit their child?
The little boy is doing okay, and we're told his family doesn't want Tinkerbell to be euthanized, but they also don't want her in their community. But still, Billings says she doesn't think it's fair and thinks Tinkerbell is still being targeted because she is a pit bull.
It just almost became like, a witch hunt. That we need to eliminate certain dogs from the community because, they are said to be vicious.
In Huntington, Daryl Wilcox, Eyewitness News.
Tinkerbell is currently at the Campbell Wayne Animal Shelter. Billings says they've had offers from all over the country to help try to save that dog. They have 30 days from Monday's hearing to appeal that decision in a higher court. And now we want to know what you think about all this. Do you think that Tinkerbell should be given another chance? Just tell us what you think by stopping by our Facebook page and joining in on that conversation. A lot of people wondering what the weekend has in store this holiday weekend. Jim Barrick is in next to let us know.
Well, it is a big weekend coming up, and of course, we got all kinds of activities planned for the 4th of July, including out in Greenbrier County for the Greenbrier Classic, where we did see some storms earlier. Right now, not much going on with our live Doppler radar. We're going to zoom down into that region, and we see that Those storms have now moved over into Virginia, away from the Greenbrier Classic, so that's good news there for now. There are some more showers and storms in the vicinity, so might not have the all clear quite yet, but in the Charleston area and for much of the viewing area, we could see a few more showers or storms late tonight. Taking a look outside on our Charleston storm cam, it's 88, pretty warm day. The humidity level's down just a little bit from yesterday, but still pretty muggy, and we'll drop it down into the 70s tonight by 11 o'clock, and we could see some showers late.
Bracing for the storm. It's likely to be a very wet 4th of July for parts of the U.S. The first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season has formed off the eastern coast of Florida. Eyewitness News meteorologist Brandon Stover joins us live with more on the preps for Hurricane Arthur. Brandon?
Hey, Liz, that's right. It's pretty untimely appearance for the first named storm of the season as we are heading towards the 4th of July. But Tropical Storm Arthur appears to be strengthening as it moves towards the southeastern United States. Although Arthur is slowly moving away from the Florida coast, it is heading in the general direction of the Carolinas. This has put coastal North and South Carolina on edge, obviously, as Arthur is projected to become a hurricane very soon. In fact, it's very close right now. Earlier today, we spoke with Joy Dalton, a resident of Scott Depot, who's down in Pawleys Island, South Carolina right now. Being a native of the mountain state, preparing for hurricanes is something she's not accustomed to.
You know, I think when you're this close to the ocean, you kind of you prepare on an overall basis, you know, kind of a mindset and making sure that things are done in the house and things like that. It's more routine for them. It's a little more alarming for me because we don't prepare for that back home.
The good news for our region is that we aren't expecting an impact from Arthur, but we'll certainly keep up with the Dalton family and our Carolina friends as they ride out the storm. Reporting live here in the studio, Brandon Stover, Eyewitness News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Next tonight, Fellman Production is restarting its idle plant in Mason County. The restart follows a new power deal between Fellman and Appalachian Power. Eyewitness News reporter Bob Aaron says that new deal could cost AEP customers about 50 cents more a month.
Fellman Production plans to restart its idle plant in Mason County by the end of July, with 2 of the furnaces in full production. The steel additive maker got a new power deal with Appalachian Power. The special electricity rate for the plant should allow 150 workers to be recalled. City Councilwoman Amy Gordon says that's a major boost for nearby New Haven's economy and for her family.
What has the callback meant for you personally?
It's meant a lot. My husband's been off work for 10 months. They received the AEP reduction rate, so it's all come together for them.
It's good news for local restaurants.
It's wonderful for the business. I can tell for the last few weeks that the business has really picked back up with them calling plant workers back.
The Public Service Commission authorized a special electricity rate for the company in April. The plan links the company's electricity rate to the price of its product and other raw materials.
The arrangement would give the company up to $9 million in power discounts over the next decade. And power use is a major component in making ferroalloys.
About 20% of those costs. Appalachian Power home customers may have to take up the slack.
The impact of Fellman reopening on a typical residential customer using about 1,000 kilowatts of electricity is about 55 cents a month.
The state consumer advocate was against the deal, arguing Fellman did not qualify. The company says the special rate gives them the flexibility to operate the plant when commodity prices are weak. In Mason County, Bob Aaron, Eyewitness News.
Fellman idled the plant in 2013 because of poor market conditions. All right, time for your feel-good story of the day. A Kanawha County woman's home is getting a makeover thanks to a group of kids who are on a mission to help. These kids are volunteers from all over the country and are spending a couple days doing some repairs to Betty Westfall's Campbell's Creek home. These kids are painting the inside and outside of her house, fixing her porch, roof, and finishing up some drywall. About 200 kids and adults from a Christian work camp are in Kanawha County this week, working on about 30 projects. They say it feels good to help others in need.
I thought it was really awesome. I've met the resident who's really, really nice. And I mean, I love working on this. It's really fun.
I feel really helpful knowing that I've done something that she couldn't do and taking responsibility and doing this for her.
The group will be in the area until Saturday. Boat owners are getting their vessels in ship shape. We'll tell you what else you need to keep in mind when you head out on the river. You're watching Eyewitness News. We are West Virginia's source for news.
And it looks like our weather might be getting itself into ship shape. I'll tell you exactly what to expect over the next few days, when we're going to be seeing some showers, and when the dry weather arrives. That's in my forecast. Coming up next.
And right now, Jim Verica is taking a look at what the weather has in store for this holiday weekend. And a lot of people are heading to the beach, but maybe the weather isn't going to be so nice there.
Well, you know, it won't be nice on Friday, but if a lot of folks are getting there on Saturday.
True.
So if you're not going there for the 4th, even the 4th, it might scoot out a little earlier. So it's not going to be a washout by any means. I mean, it's not going to be horrific. Friday might not be great, but then by Saturday, things get much nicer along the coastline from Arthur, which is making its way towards that region. That is our one concern. Around here, though, really not much going on. Our live Doppler radar shows not a lot of activity, although as we zoom down into Greenbrier County, now moving over into Virginia, we see a few showers and storms. They were in the Lewisburg area, so and there was a severe thunderstorm warning earlier, but that's expired. They moved out of the region, so it looks like activities can be going back underway there, but we still have some more showers and storms that could be making their way into the region. So that's an area that we need to watch a little bit as we take a look outside on our Charleston storm cam. 88 right now, mostly cloudy skies, 67-degree dew point, little less muggy than yesterday, but still pretty humid outside. Now, our temperatures as we go through tonight, we're going to dip down into the 60s, should be pretty comfortable. And look at tomorrow. By the afternoon, we'll be in the mid-70s, and by the latter part of the day, we'll be in the low 80s. So quite a change on the way for the next couple of days, and we will stay in the 70s probably on the 4th of July. Here we're looking at Arthur. It's moving up the coastline from Florida, headed towards South Carolina, but it's going to get pulled in by the Bermuda High, as this so often happens, and it'll skirt the coastline into just brushing by the Carolinas and then head out to sea. So that's a very common scenario. It looks like these storms are headed for land, and then they just sort of get pulled out of the way. Our satellite radar view, well, we'll see some of those storms firing up down around the southern part of West Virginia, and we've got some more storms out to the west that could come in later tonight with this cold front, and that could set off a few showers or storms tonight. We could have a few morning showers tomorrow. Then things will start to dry. We'll have mostly cloudy skies on Thursday. As we go into Friday, we're looking for a lot of sunshine. Should be a beautiful day for the 4th. Low 80s tomorrow in the Kanawha Valley. Marmette 83, Charleston 82, Sissonville 80 with morning showers. West Virginia mountains around 80, lowlands low to mid 80s. Tonight 67. I left in a chance of a shower probably late tonight. Most areas staying dry. 82 tomorrow, a little breezy, maybe a morning shower, but then becoming mostly cloudy. After that, we're looking for some nice sunshine on Friday. Mostly sunny skies on Saturday and warmer Sunday all the way up to 88, and that'll bring back storms late on Monday with a high of 90, mid-80s with some storms on Tuesday and Wednesday. Stick around, and I'll be back with one final look at your forecast coming up in a few more minutes.
Thank you so much, Jim. Being safe on the river. We'll take a look at boating safety next in our West Virginia Wildlife Report. You're watching Eyewitness News. And welcome back to Eyewitness News. Summer is officially upon us, and that means more people will be heading out onto the rivers and lakes on their boats. And with the 4th of July weekend just ahead, we want to make sure you're safe. Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Sykes has some boating safety tips you need to know in this week's West Virginia Wildlife Reports.
What better way to enjoy the summer sun in West Virginia than on a boat? While you're out on the water having fun, safety is key.
There's no second chances. Like if you run in a ditch in the road, there's very little chance you're going to fall out of the car and drown. When you have an accident on the water, you're going to end up in the water 9 times out of 10.
Sergeant Jerry Payne with the West Virginia DNR said you have to have the right tools on the water. That includes these.
Flotation devices and life jackets are key. Everyone on board is required to at least have a life jacket, and if you're 12 and under, these kids must be wearing them.
They have to be wearable and the proper size. A fire extinguisher on board is also important.
nothing scarier than a fire on a boat. That fiberglass catches on fire and you've got trouble. So we'll check your fire extinguisher, make sure that you've got one that's charged and ready to go.
Your boat must also be equipped with workable lights. That includes red and green navigation lights on the front and a 360 horizon light on the back. And if you're boating at night, they must be on. On the water, watch your speed and what's in front of you.
Part of the law says you have to have a proper an observer, a good lookout, and everybody should abide by that. At night, everybody should be looking. In the day, I mean, if you're not busy skiing or something, you need to be looking ahead. There's no brakes on boats.
Keep the alcohol at home. Operating a boat while drinking is against the law. If you were born after December 31st, 1986, you are required to take a boating class and must carry a card if you're operating a boat. Overall, Sergeant Payne says it's all about common sense and following these simple steps that'll allow you to have a fun and safe adventure on the water. For West Virginia Wildlife, I'm Caitlin Sykes.
Some great information there. And for more on boating safety and how you can play it safe in the water, just head on over to our website at WCHSTV.com, or you can email Caitlin directly.
And hi, I'm Mark Martin. We are continuing to count you down to the Greenbrier Classic. A sports report.
Showers and possibly a storm late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then after that, we're looking pretty dry.
Bye-bye.